Hey guys, welcome back to Ernest Cole Fishing. I am, as always, the Bassman Ernest Cole, and today we are going to continue our series on building your very own custom rod. So let's get to it. Alright guys, we're back once again. This is actually day 2 of building the reel seat and butt cap and fitting our grips onto our rod. You saw in yesterday's episode that I did glue the handle on and the fighting butt and the end cap, and we're going to continue that with actually the reel seat on it today. And what that is going to entail is these reel seats, they're not the same diameter as the rod blank. So what we've got to do is we're actually going to take some masking tape and wrap these around here and kind of build those arbors up and to where this fits real nice and snug before we epoxy that. I've got me some calipers here to help me actually get the right size as far as inside the reel seat and fitting that onto the button it up against the grip here and getting it right good and snug on the blank before we glue that up. So I'll kind of fast forward that as I'm wrapping this and getting that set up. So let's get to that. Alright guys, I've got my arbors built up, and again the purpose of this is just to take out that slack in the reel seat. So when you put it together, that butts up nice and neat, it's on there, it is secure, and it is not going to come off. I will have to epoxy this in just a minute, but as far as fit and finish, I am very pleased with that. It feels just very good in the hand. So what I'm going to do now, I was debating whether or not to put this Fore Grip on. Most of my rods now don't have it, but I'm going to go ahead and ream this out and get it fitted on there. I think it'll just make it look nicer and just a more finished look. So I'm going to do that right now before I epoxy this. That way I can get it all in one time and won't have to mix up a couple of different batches of epoxy. So let's do that. Alright guys, we've come to the point now we are ready to actually put some epoxy and set this reel seat on here. So what I've done is I already fitted this up, got all my parts in place the way I want them. That way I don't have to keep taking this on and off the stand here. I just slide this down and put my epoxy on. And also put some masking tape on the threads here on my seat. That way when I push this up, and there's probably going to be a little bit of squeeze out, but that's going to keep it from getting on the threads. So I can just take a paper towel and quickly just clean it up real quick. So let's mix up some Pro Paste. Let's get actually some cleaning supplies ready, because I'm probably going to make a mess. Alright, got our denatured alcohol. Let's get a couple of paper towels ready, because I'm a messy man. I'm going to make a mess. I can see it already. But I did get some popsicle sticks today, which is a big improvement over my broken up stir sticks I had yesterday. So we're going to need a pretty good amount of this. So I'm going to do, I'm going to get a big old glob of this. Real big glob of my Pro Paste here. I'd rather have too much is not enough. Let's top back on there. Now guys, this is a little canister. I'm not sure. This is a 1 ounce canister. I can conservatively probably do 2 rods out of this. Maybe more. Who knows? That off there. Set it to the side. And we mix. Well, let's put the top on this right quick, because I am a messy man. And I can see I've got too much epoxy. It's okay, I'd rather have too much is not enough. Just want to mix this really good. I think this has a working time or open time of maybe 15 minutes. Should be more than enough time that we need. Be sure to mix it really, really good. I don't want my reel seat to come loose. I've seen loose reel seats. They are not fun. All right. Here we go. There's a little glob. And I'm just going to thoroughly coat these arbors, and in the middle especially. Want that on there just as nice as I can get it. Don't want it coming off. Now that seems like a lot, but there's some room in the middle here, and that will kind of take up that space. Okay. I think that may get it. We're going to go with that. I don't know if that's enough. Like I said, it's my first rod build ever. So let's set that there. Moment of truth. Give it a little twist. Slide it in there. And it's sliding in really, really good. In there. Getting a good bit of squeeze out. Undo is see if I can get as much of that out as I can. Right there. Take my popsicle stick. If I can maybe a little bit of that squeeze out. Oh man, I know there's going to be more, but you know, ease clean up as much as I can. That globbed up a good bit. I have to really clean it off. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, very important, is I'm going to line up my reel seat. I made a mark up here. I found the spine of my blank. Now guys, I'm siding up the spine. I think I got it pretty good. And that is money. Reel seat is up, straight up and down. Just tweak that way. I think that's going to get it. It's going to get as close as I can get it. And my reel seat is complete on there. Now I do have a lot of squeeze out on this handle. So I'm going to clean that up right now. We'll just clean it up now, then later. All that off there. I don't want any epoxy on there. All gooey and not looking good. I want my rod to be as good looking as I can make it. I know it's not going to be perfect, but okay. Make sure one more time. And I think we're on the money. So let's move on to our Fore Grip. I'm not going to put it all the way down. I'm not going to glob this all the way down. Now the reason for that is some of this is going to slide forward and get in those little spaces, and some probably will push up into the rear seat. So I'm just going to get a good even coat all the way around, best I can. Start rotating this. It is kind of tight. So let's pick this up. So that epoxy gets in there, lubricates a little bit. Okay, that's a lot of squeeze out. A lot of squeeze out. See if I can. That is more squeeze out than I anticipated. It's okay. I'll get it off. I'll get it all off. No problem. Denatured alcohol. Clean that cork really good. I'm sorry if you can't hear me real good. If there's any kind of wind noise, it is Mississippi and it's 110 degrees, so I had to turn the fan on. I got hot. Okay, I think I've got that pretty well off the cork and off the grip there. Give her one more press on there. Alright. Now my winding check, I'm not really going to epoxy because that is a pretty good fit already. It's pretty tight on there. So what I'm going to do, I'll take me an extra popsicle stick. I can't find my brush. And I'm going to push this up with my fingernails as quick as much as I can. I'm going to go around this with this popsicle stick. It works like a burnishing tool. And push that just as close as I can. I'm going to get on this side so you guys can see it. As close as I can to the Fore Grip. And that's about as close. And that's a friction fit. It goes on really tight, so that's not going to come off. Let's take this tape off. And we've got a nice clean edge. No epoxy. Just take this and just make sure, go over those threads. Any epoxy on those threads at all. Alright, she's pretty clean. Alright guys, with that, let me double check, make sure that my reel seat is in line with the spine, and it is. That is how you put on a reel seat, the Fore Grip, a rear grip, a butt cap, and it took me 2 days just because I got a late start after work here yesterday. I could probably do this in one sitting. I learned a lot, especially using that reamer and the drill. Really really sped up the process of fitting these grips on here. Gonna have to invest in some larger reamers if I'm gonna do this size rod, which I think I will. I'm kind of getting the rod building bug now. So with that, I'm gonna close this video out for today. I didn't want it to be that long. When you come back next time, I'll show you the process of fitting the guides on and finishing the rod. So that's what we got to do next. This will set up in about 15 minutes. I'll probably be done for the day. Hit that subscribe button, guys, and click that notification bell. It'll let you know when I do upload the next video in this series. Like, share, comment, guys. Thank you so much for watching this series. I'm the Bassman Ernest Cole, and we'll see you guys down the road.